man, I forgive you for what happened
Mm-hmm.
because of the circumstances.
But what about you personally? Is there something, because I just come from the belief
Right.
and my little bit of experience is that most guys, you know, whether your dad was in the house, whether, you know, whatever the situation of you growing, most guys have to work through that forgiveness and forgetting piece when it comes to their dads. I know I did.
Right.
There were, and this is really not about my dad, who I love dearly, you know, but during the maturation process, you know, I come to realize early that you know, he was just a man trying to do the best he could. You know, I'm not confused about the fact that he loved all of us as best he could, but he was just a man. You know, and he made mistakes. You know, and some of those mistakes he made, I hurt deeply because it was your dad. You know, so you know, what about some things personally? Don't tell me any more stories about
No,
somebody
stories.
across the other side. I like the way you
Well,
evaded
yes.
that.
The one reason is having such a large family, Mark. You know, you're talking about 7 brothers and 5 sisters. I was
Mhm.
born in the middle, so I didn't really know my dad. In fact, I have to ask my oldest brother, my brother TJ, for stories about my
Okay.
dad, because
Okay.
again, he was gone so much. I mean, you know, I know we couldn't throw away food or at
Mhm.
the table with him. I know
Mhm.
I never heard him and my mom get in an argument. I know he liked to drink old granddad. You know, I know he likes to smoke cigars now and then. But I know he was a builder. I know he built things in our backyard, the porch and all that. And I know that you know, one time when I didn't say sir, because I started to smell myself, I was about 11, and I just walked by him and said, man, I'm about as tall as he is. I ain't got to say yes sir to him anymore.
Oh.
And that was it. That's probably the worst beating I've ever got in my life.
I did that once.
Yes,
just
just
once.
So, in reference to working through, I mean, he was providing for 13 children,
Mhm.
and when he was there, I remember he left. And he told all of us, and Mom's getting a divorce, and he called us into a room individually. There's 13 of us now,
Mhm.
so he called the youngest to the oldest. He called us in the room, and he was crying and told us, you know, that he was leaving, he was moving to an apartment, he was leaving the house. So I remember that vividly. But also, he was a diplomat, man. I mean, one time I was stealing my brother's change and money,
Mhm.
taking it, and him and my mom's called us, and they said, look, okay. They called 13 of us, and I know I was doing it, and he was like, okay, John, did you take the money? And I was like, yes, sir. He said, okay. And they never, and the thing about it is, they never told any of my brothers and sisters what happened. You know, so he was a diplomat,
Mhm.
but so no, personally, no, I never really had to, you know, work through anything in reference to. He was paralyzed at his last couple of years of life. I had to take food to him, you know, because he lived about 10 blocks from us.
Mhm.
But he was not vicious.
Mhm.
He believed in school.
Mhm.
He believed in us going to school. We were the only house in the neighborhood that had a library.
Mhm.
So just so we could make excuses not to go to the library, he had a library. He built a library for us.
Well, let me
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
jump in here.
Yeah,
Let me just
sure.
ask you this because
Sure. Yeah.
I can see there are some walls up there, so I don't want to do.
No,
I don't want to crack. I don't want to break through no walls and have something.
No, it's just
So let me just ask you this,
Yes,
because
yes.
I know you're an educator, John.
Right.
You've been at this. You've been in the school system for a
Right.
long time. You know, you do a lot in the community, and one thing I do know about you, you absolutely love the kids that you work with.
Yes.
So here's the scenario. You know a kid, a young male,
Okay.
right, that has issues with his dad. And then again, this is not about the dad and what the dad may have done right
Right.
or wrong. You're trying to help this kid work through the forgetting piece. And he's come to you, right, for some counseling in that area because he really feels resentment and some hate, you can tell, some hate for his dad, towards his dad. what would you say to that particular kid?
Well, first of all, I'll ask him, you have to be sensible and compassionate. Ask him, what is he mad about or what is he upset about? And let him walk you through that phase of it. Because children want to be heard. They feel either mothers and fathers or stepmothers, stepfathers, cousins, whoever's taking care of them is not listening to them. So you want to walk him through that phase so he knows that you have an open ear, that you're listening. And then you want to try to build up some navigational tools that he can use. But one of the first things I tell him is just straight up. I said, listen, man, whatever's happening into your life, you're going to be able to use it to become a stronger person, a stronger human being, in the future. So don't look at those as being bad experiences. Look at those as being experiences that's going to help you allow some other people to walk through those things. So it's like a win-win situation there. So I don't believe in bad experiences.
Amen.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Amen. And again, I am just so grateful for this topic. I'm grateful that Ranita kicked this around because, as brothers, as African American brothers, most of us are going to grow up with some kind of issues towards mom and dad, as a matter of fact. Not because we necessarily have bad parents.
Correct.
We have human parents. And growing up, when our human parents do something like, let's say, be human,
yes,
it hurts us deeply. It hurts us deeply. So this is always a good topic as we help our family, our friends, minister to the community, the African American community, about the strength of forgiving and if possible, forgetting.
And Mark, if I don't mean to jump in, but we might want to look at that part also with the forgiving of the mother part.
Amen.
Yes, because we kind of focus on the males, but that's something, if you ask about my mother, that'd be a different story.
Okay.
Yes, because but my father, he
we'll do that in the next segment.
See that? So, you said father, but mothers is maybe a different story.
Okay, we'll do that in the next segment. We want to thank you again for joining in the SMP3. More on the way because we've got TripGear, and again, we've got Cowardice in the Mist. John's going to talk a lot about that in the TripGear segment. We've got a young man coming in, Dale J. Evans, at right around 8:30. So you don't want to miss this young man. He's been called, and he's got a powerful ministry.
Yes, sir.
So he's coming up at 8:30. We want to remind you that SMP3 is doing what on the 6th of November, John?
We're starting the show at 7 p.m. Be there. Yes.
So again, thank you. Hope you got your coffee. Hope you got your tea. Stick with us here on SMP3. Amen. Okay.
Women, y'all cause a lot of problems.
Like I said, now we're talking.
Yeah, he knows too.
I started laughing.
Mothers, man.
I wanted to say Stella. I wanted to, but I can't.
His mom's usually a better show of favoritism. than the
I
father.
disagree with that.
Oh, come on, man. You know it's true.
I
You
think,
are
but
mine.
I know. And Rihanna will say that Ronald is my favorite, but that's not true.
Right.
Each child is different, and shut up.
I can tell you, my mom used to put my little
I didn't
brother.
know Greg was still in there.
Yeah, used to put my little
What's up?
brother above my youngest brother above me and my brother. But we had the maturity to understand not to let it affect us. But I was telling Paul that would affect a lot of people. It's just that it didn't really kind of phase us. Now I found out later that she was bipolar.
What's up, man? Good morning.
She has some unique issues. My mama was a money person. You gave her a car without no money, she gonna cuss you out.
No, the difference is sometimes with parents, you learn the different personality traits of your kids.
Right.
Ronald is my responsible person. I know that I can trust Ronald to get things done. It's like for me, I'm the baby of my whole family, but when my parents died, I'm the matriarch of our family. Period. On the Baker side and on my mother's side. And they always saw that part of me. I was the person who was in charge of my sister who's older. So Ronald, I see those same, he knows how to take care of business, he's logical, all this other things. So he had very responsible, and he's been like that as a young child.
Right.
So there's things that there's things that get, responsibilities.
Right.
Rihanna is my replica. She is a mini me. And I love her differently than I love them both. I love them both. So they're neither one of them are my favorite.
You can't. It's God hasn't designed us like that.
What?
You know that. You can't love the kids the same exact way.
I love them both equally, but not the same.
No, not equally.
No, I do love my kids.
You can't.
I love both my
You
kids.
say that. You want to say it, you can't. It's impossible.
I say equally
Right.
because I love
I'm
both
the
my kids.
favorite.
'100%. You can't.
I know.
You can't
My
do it.
siblings know I'm the favorite.
Right.
But
Yeah, you
Ron's
can't,
not
yeah.
the favorite.
They know it.
Yeah, right. They do.
I
You
know my
can't.
kids,
It's
but guess who
impossible.
they are. I tell them all the time.
And they know too.
Rihanna
But
will
they're
be
not
the
gonna tell you
one.
that though.
Rihanna will be
They
the
know
one.
that.
Yeah, they know. They know.
Well, they
You know
say
that.
it out loud.
Rihanna
They
said
know.
you know
Yeah, they know. They know.
And so then
But
I
you
cleared,
so right.
and so I cleared
Right.
up for them. I said,
No,
Ronald is the one that I know.
Ronnie, they don't believe you.
They don't
They don't believe you,
Take
Ronnie.
care of
They don't believe you, right?
He's
They
not
don't
my
believe you.
favorite.
You know,
He is your
my
favorite.
mother actually
She hates
disliked one of my sisters. Disliked
I
her.
disliked Rihanna for a while.
No, I mean for until
I disliked Rihanna for a while.
my mom was on
like
the
2 minutes.
My mom was on the deathbed and finally asked forgiveness for this. I didn't even know this, that she disliked one of my sisters. Disliked. I'm like, what? My sister told me, and I'm like, what? Because I didn't know, got them 5 sisters. Wasn't they crazy? My oldest brother said, man, your sisters are crazy. All of them.
You guys got some issues.
I know.
Man.
Because, my sister's fought. We didn't
I'm
fight.
praying for you. Let me
I
come
just
here.
think it's different.
Both you
Yeah,
brothers
mom,
come here.
They do. They need friends.
No, these mamas,
Well,
man.
I ain't
Come
doing
here.
that.
Both you brothers come here. Let's pray, man.
These mamas.
Nah, it's crazy with Ronita. She the one that came to admitted that Ronald is her favorite.
He's not my favorite.
We keeping it real.
I tell all the time, I said, I know that Rihanna is going to be the one to take care of me, and Ronald's going to be the one to give her the money to take care of me. I just know how my kids are.
I just
so
found out that
there's
so your
different.
son's your favorite.
He's not my favorite.
By far.
Ronnie, doing your head all like that,
He's
guys.
not my
All right.
I don't have favorites.
Well, it's just the
Listen,
anxiety is
listen.
like that.
And
See,
the
we're
word-
just trying to get out the, huh?
In the words of Michael
She
Jackson.
would, when it's time for Rihanna to go to school, she's going to speed to take her.
You ain't man.
Ronald almost had a mental breakdown when he decided to move. Totally different thing. Rihanna's like, I can't wait for her to be gone. Ronald, just can't someone admit it.
You hold
She's a
back.
mini
No,
me.
come on, man.
She's
You
a
hold-
mini me. And plus, the difference is, Ronald was
She keeps
my
saying that key word.
firstborn.
Oh, here we go.
By
The
the
truth's coming out.
time Rihanna goes to school, I'm ready to be free.
Right.
So that's the whole point. I'm ready. Now that I got a taste of
To be
Ronald,
honest with you, I didn't even know you
I'm
had
ready to
it.
be free.
I didn't know you had a daughter the way you talk about your
You see her,
son.
whatever. You see her.
I didn't know that was.
Right. I was your cousin.
Yeah, I didn't know that was.
You know, I mentored. She was mentoring her.
But what's up? Mark, you probably asking people at church, they probably would think Rihanna's my favorite.
Nah.
Mike, you said that.
Not that they in the same room.
You good, Mark?
Hmm?
You good?
I'm getting there.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting there. I'm much better.
Moving on up.
Man, why didn't you say, remind me I had that thing?
You
Mama
asked
had
Ronald.
favorites.
I actually thought that
you
you
asked
mentioned
Ronald,
that after I
and
thought about it. I was
Ronald
like,
will
you remember
tell
when we
you
passed
that
each other in the hallway?
Yeah, but he don't
I said,
he
you
just
know
saying
what,
what
I'd
you
be
feel.
very
Well,
nice
because
to talk to
Rihanna
you.
knows
Still in my
I do.
student. My
Yeah,
student.
yeah,
No, it wasn't either. It was in my, that's in my,
She didn't
polo jacket. I had it in my suit.
Okay, nah. Is
Then
he a
when I
gentleman?
left to watch the game, I put it in my
Okay,
polo
see,
jacket.
It was my
that's
fault,
what we
man,
said.
because we passed each other. You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
But thank goodness you
He'd be
had
like,
a few thumbs out here. Yeah. So,
yeah, if he's a gentleman, that's how we talk.
John,
Yes, sir. You ready?
ready for you? We get ready here. We're gonna go in early.
All right.
I got a children's story up under you.
Okay.
But you got 2 minutes. It'll be about 6 after.
Got it. Yeah, I got it.
Rihanna went on cruises as a baby. Ronald did. He's got more. He's got more.
Can you go let my guy in? Mr. Dale. You don't like Dale. Yeah, I think you might know him. Dale Evans. Because I thought I saw you as one of his friends on Facebook.
That was my parents' favorite.
Who?
That was my parents' favorite.
See that?
Yeah, you were. Spoiled rotten.
I wasn't spoiled though.
Yeah, you were.
I was. Daddy did not spoil me like. Well, people love to talk about money.
Wheeler Mission?
Daddy didn't spoil
Yeah.
me money until mommy died.
Was it Arlington?
Yep.
Too bad.
Whatever. This is
He's a young cat? He's a young cat?
He's not that old.
Okay.
He's not that old at all. I mean,
I'm like, he's not was at Arlington for 4 years. I had a program, I was there for 4 years, I had a program.
yeah, you were everywhere, yeah. You're like Santa Claus.
Nah.
He's everywhere. He's
I'm
everywhere.
like, no.
You talking about somebody spoiling kids?
They should be spoiled.
John's spoiled kid, man.
That's how I am.
That's one of the things I like about him.
No, I don't.
Rihanna's over. I gotta tell you today that I'm stepping down from the youth department.
I do. You know why, John? You know why, Greg?
I
Because
don't.
because of the kids that he worked with, they've never been spoiled before. Never been spoiled. We're talking about kids, man, that don't even eat. You know?
Give them a taste and get them
on
on the track, then beat them out.
And beat 'em up. Whatever. You got 25 seconds. Going high.
Cowardice in the midst. Now, what I'm going to do with this story is actually give you a background of it real quick. The theme is not being a coward, is doing what is right, whether or not anyone is watching. The character review is community, or the lack thereof, starts within each of us. The learning objectives from the story is being a hero is taking responsibility for the community that you live in. A coward is a person that is unwilling to take responsibility for what he or she has done or not done. Don't allow others to deem you as a bad person because you do what is justifiable. Criminals gravitate towards communities that they can prostitute. Having a relationship with fear is not going to help you become a better person. We have to be accountable to our conscience. Even when we are not hurting, we still need to focus on those that are. Now this is a 2 story, but it's still short, so just stay tuned and stay with me. Cowardice, hiding in the midst. Neighbor being robbed, raped. You give the neighbor the dish. Cowardice, what a cowardly twist. You mad at the victim. It seems you want to give the criminal a kiss. Not worried you might be next on his or her list. You have no concern. Your feelings are bliss. Could have been your brother Chris or your sis. You cowards claim to be tough, rough, giving teachers, parents bad business enough. Cowardice in the midst. Cannot close your eyes and wash your hands with whisk. You are a sad, screwy, slimy, sorry, silly sucker. Slave, sinister, anti-minister. You are weak, weird, woeful, whack, weedy, self-centered, and greedy. You are pitiful, puny, powerless, pointless, pathetic, unapologetic. You are fake, frail, foolish, feeble, forged, phony. Does not begin with an F, but rhymes with baloney. That's what you are. Cowardice hiding in the midst. Community starts within. There's where it begins. Now let me sell you a simple tale, well, live, not email or pen pal. Keep up. This might make you leap up. You're on a bus with a driver named Gus. A homie boards from a certain stop. You hear a certain pop. Everyone on the bus, including Gus, goes to the floor. You hear fear, praying to someone else. You look around. Someone is bleeding. Your mind, mental makeup. It's a shakeup. You're trying to stay cool so you don't break up. Everyone is looking around, including Gus, who does not like to take showers, so he's spreading the must. Everyone trying to control their fears. But who is the blood coming from? It's becoming clear. You're thinking you never knew blood was so red, wishing you were home in the bed. Everyone, women, men, and their sons still on the floor. But blood, the gore, and then now you hear the sirens, you hear children crying, cell phones text, returning text, girls stop lying, trying to stay calm, the red blood rolling down your palm. Am I the one that took the shell? God, I don't want to go to hell. People start to say, oh my God, it's not me. How blind with eyes they be. You see, no one is coming to your aid. It wasn't them, so they got it made, paid, lemonade in the shade. As blood continues to flow, police ask questions, but no one knows. Yes, that's how it always goes on the community bus with a driver named Gus. We all know each other, but a fear called lust and distrust handcuffed us. The thugs, criminals, and crooks know this is a plus. The silence, yes, the hush. Almost forgot. The blood was not from me, but that very, very red blood is from our community. Cowardice in the midst. So, Mark, we tend to, again, what happened was, this gentleman's from Arlington, this is a school that I was at, with a program there, and I talked to 3 different classes of 30 children apiece, and asked with a neighbor that they liked, Mark, not neighbor they disliked, would they call the police if the neighbor was being raped? And out of the 90 children, only 2 or 3 girls said that they would call the police. And this is when I started to decode what they were saying, and then started to come up with this articulation called Cowardice in the Midst, and the TripGear Volume 2 book. So these are the problems that we have, because we're told not to tell.
Right.
We're told that if you have courage, don't take advantage of it, don't have conscientiousness. I remember one of my best friends, Donald Jones, came to me, we were about in the middle school, and said we're going to rob his house and take the brother's gun during Sunday. I said, his father worked like my father. I was about 12 or 13. I said, I'm not, why would I take somebody's father who's working like my dad? So we have to be culturally conscious, but at the same time, my question is this, Mark. My question is this. I'm watching Netflix, and this is right after the war, and the Germans were devastated, man. The country was devastated. And